Well, it's another day and another bug, I suppose. Hey guys. So this is a bug report video. I'm not going to ramble. It's not my usual type of video. I'm just going to get right into it. So, the bug involves the blade and whip weapons, specifically the whip part. So this Mios, whatever you want to call it, is using a stretch, reach mod, whatever it is. It causes the range of the melee attacks to extend. And with this mod, the whip can reach a distance of about 10 to 14, 15 meters max. It depends on the type of attack. But I know for a fact that a charge attack can reach this mob at about 11 to 12 meters. So you can see there, it reached them and it flung them around. Certain attacks on a combo have more reach than the charge. For example, that has very good reach, that has very good reach. But on average, let's say that the whip attacks have a 11 to 12 meter range as an average. Now, you saw how far that the whip roach, right? So now I'm going to go invisible, and you're going to notice something weird. So I'm doing a charge attack, and it didn't connect. But maybe that was just a fluke, right? But let's do it again. Again, doesn't connect. One more time. Still doesn't connect, but let's try it one more time. And we finally got something. So, what's going on here? Like, what's happening? The whip isn't connecting. Even from a range of about 7 to 6 meters, it's not connecting. I'm obviously not missing. There's a problem going on here. I think what's happening is that the whip portion of the blade disappears when you go invisible, and it causes the hitbox to just be practically non-existent. So if you don't play a lot of frames and go invisible, a lot of the time, physics-based objects like Syndanas and Sugatras and things like that, they will disappear. And I think the reason for this is that it fixes an issue where certain Syndanas and physics-based cosmetics will become really stiff. I've seen this in the past, and in order to fix that, I guess they've decided to just make certain cosmetics invisible. So if I go invisible, my Syndana no longer exists. So I can move around, but you don't see any obvious fluctuation, right? And the same also applies to the whip of the blade and whip. I can move around, but you don't see any whip. There's no whip or anything. But even more interesting is that the hook in the hand is gone. So I'm going to highlight the area on screen right now. The hook does not exist, and it just disappears. So if my theory is correct, what's happening here is that going invisible is causing the hitbox and the model of the hook and whip to disappear. And thus, when you go invisible, you're not throwing anything out, and thus there's no attack. So that's what I think is happening. And this issue is not present with the whips, for example. So if I go to the Atarax, go to the Atarax, please. There we go. If I go to the Atarax, the issue does not apply here because the Atarax is fully animated and it is not based off of physics. So even if I'm invisible, I can still hit enemies from a usual range. If I do a charge attack, or whatever, it hits enemies from the usual range. Now, with the blade and whips, the whip portions seem to be heavily physics-based, and because of that, the game tries to hide them to prevent any kind of, visual glitch. Now, the most telling part of this glitch is when I use the Jet Kassar. And the reason for this is because the Jet Kassar has a unique charge attack. If you charge the attack, it causes a ranged explosion. And let's just try to find the max range of this explosion. Let's start from about here. So we didn't hit. Let's try again. Didn't hit. Once more. So about 12 to 13 meters for the range of that charged attack. And here is where things get interesting. If I go invisible and then do it, you can see that the charge attack spawns on me. One more time. So yeah, the explosion spawns right on top of me. So I think what's happening here is that the game is just defaulting the explosion to the frame. Because again, I'm not throwing out a projectile. The whip is gone, the hook itself is gone, so I think it just defaults to putting the projectile right on top of me. And just to show that that isn't like a visual glitch, and it's also mechanical, check this out. I'm going to go invisible, and we're going to throw out the hook from a range of about 7 meters. That's good enough. And it hits there, but we previously saw that it can hit from a range of about 12 meters. And it doesn't hit because the explosion spawns right on top of me. So that's the bug in a nutshell. Like I said, I think the reason that it happens is because when you go invisible, it causes the whip and the hook to disappear. And I've tried this on numerous frames. I've tried it on Ivara, I've tried it on Ash, but I'm not going to make this video last longer than it needs to. And yeah, it's really annoying. So if you are a viewer, I would highly encourage you to send this in to support. I'm going to be making a forum post and probably a Reddit post, since Rebecca tends to float around there as well. So this is probably going to go up on the Reddit. But if you view this video, please send it in, because this is a really annoying glitch. I like blade and whip weapons a lot, and having the ability to use invisibility, or not being able to use invisibility with the whip, is really annoying because you get a damage bonus in invisibility. So, yeah, that's all I have to say. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Oh yeah, and another glitch is that blade and whip weapons don't have their old idle animation. They seem to be glitched, and they're only using the twin blade idle, where they do that. But in the past, there used to be an idle animation where the character would swing the chain around. They would swing the hook around. But that seems to be glitched, and it's been glitched for about a year at the very least. So can we get a fix for that? Thanks.